line as well as the skill positions. What do you think that does for you for another year together?
I think it means everything, right? You just keep getting to work together and keep improving together. I think that's really big. And it's kind of a program, keep getting guys in, keep getting guys playing, and us working all together is going to be a really good thing.
Was that just a text? How did you guys find out?
I don't know. I don't really remember how I found out, but I know he's back, so that's good.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
What's that mean for a team? I'm sorry if you've been asked this. I'm sure you have. For a team to have your guy back for a third year in the system.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to have guys back, and especially your quarterback to have 3 years in the system, and I'll get to play with him for 3 years, and a lot of us will be playing together for a while. I think that's really important going into next year, so I think that's a good thing.
How do you think he's grown as a leader since the end of 2023 into this year in 2024? We've been hearing that he's been maybe more vocal, more confident. What have you just seen from Luke?
It's obvious that he's more confident, right? And he's just keep getting better, keep improving. And when you're in a place for a longer period of time, I think it allows you to understand the people there more. So I think he's doing a really good job.
I know we talked about for you guys the O-line, especially the last couple weeks of the season, hitting your stride.
Yeah.
How do you carry that into bowl prep, and what's the value of that extra time?
To carry into bowl prep, we just got to keep doing what we're doing, right? Not just find our weaknesses, and we get a little more time to watch ourselves, what we were struggling with in the season, even late in the season. And we can improve on those things going to South Carolina, and having this time, we could really focus on those and hopefully just continue building.
You're in a different spot, obviously, than you were in 22 bowl prep, but what was important for younger guys back then for those extra 15, especially O-linemen who are just at a developmental position for the most part?
I think the bowl practices are really important, right? You get better at football by playing football. I think just keep playing football, keep practicing. It's a huge advantage to have bowl practices, right? Being at home. I think I was at home right now, probably playing video games during this time. So I think just having those practices is really important.
Every player has the option to make a decision about staying or going to the school they're at. So was there anything in your mind about, do I need to reevaluate at the end of the year, or are you locked in staying in Illinois?
I'm locked in. I'm going to be here next year. And,
well, I figured that, but I just meant if there was a decision.
No, I mean, I think for me, I don't worry about stuff like that in the moment, right? I think those kind of things come to you eventually if you really think that, so that wasn't really it.
Has there been conversation in the locker room with the other guys like, hey, let's stick together and see what we can do as a unit in another year?
Yeah, for sure. I think guys in the locker room kind of notice a lot of guys are coming back. I think we realized halfway through the year, hey, we're pretty young. Not relatively, right? I mean, before there was guys in we had 5 guys or 10 guys in their 6th year for us. So relatively, we're a little younger team. So I think that's been encouraging going into next year.
Is that a surprise just in today's college football? Because we see a lot of these programs like Alabama, they lose their top players and it's like a trade war. You guys are pretty much bringing back a lot of key pieces. Is that kind of like a surprise in today's world?
I think it can be a little different, but I think it has to do with the program we have here and just the way we practice, the way we train, and all those kind of things. I think that Coach B does a great job of that, and I think it makes you want to stay because you're getting better at football, and you're learning how to film, and you're training well.
What is it about his approach that makes retention so successful for you guys?
I think it's that it's run well, right? You talk to other guys that have maybe gone somewhere else and they don't say it's not run as well. It's not as detailed. It's not as the practices aren't as good. Okay, you don't know what you're doing on Tuesday, Thursday, or Wednesday, Thursday. So I think that's the main thing. For me, that we know we're getting better at football. We know we're training better. We're watching film. So I think all that kind of stuff makes people want to stay. You're becoming a better football player.
What's that do for you guys when coach basically takes all the logistics off the board?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you just show up and play football,
which
probably makes things a lot easier.
That makes it easier, right? When let's say we're working on something specific on a Tuesday, and we're going to work on that every single week. That makes it easier, right? You know what you have to study going into that day, and you know what we're going to be working on. I think that's important, and I think that helps everyone just play.
My last thing is, you said you're in the nosebleeds for Luke. How do you find your way down? You're the guy who snaps him the ball.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Luke. Maybe I should have shot him a text. Maybe he should have shot me a text. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I got to get down there eventually. That was one of the first games I've been to. It was pretty live.
I know when